Good evening and welcome to Universal Spiritualism. I don't know what's happened to the intro video tonight, but it just didn't play. So here we are. Because we've had no intro, I haven't had a chance to share the video out yet, so we'll do that in a second. But I'd like to say hello to everybody, all two of you that are on at the moment. So hi, Azila. And without further ado, hi, Rosalind. I will invite Niko and his guides and inspirers and Noah onto the screen with me. Okay. Oh, we're building up people now already without me sharing it out. That's great.
Greetings to you, my dear one. Much gratitude, my dear, once more. And greetings to all who have joined this evening. We are humbled and grateful for your presence. Most of you truly accept and believe that you are your essence within your physical form. But even those who struggle with accepting that concept as truth, allow me to elaborate of your essence. It is a frequency, my dear ones, a vibrational frequency of energy. It is not a physical form, nor dialogue, nor matter, mass, density, that each of you are accustomed to in your realm. It is as subtle as a soft breeze, and yet as powerful as a tornado. Each of you perceive struggles within your physical existence, preoccupied with the distractions of your realm. So if each of you focus on only a few gentle breezes, it is no wonder that each struggle to focus, connect, accept, recall your essence but all communication, my dear ones, in your realm as well as ours, comes from your essence, your energy, your frequency, your vibration. When you align with the peacefulness, the gentle flow, you are not only able, effortlessly, I may add, to connect with essence in our realm, but you are also able to steady the course of your journey, to not allow words, actions, circumstances affect you as they do. To not be so preoccupied with time of your realm. Rather focus on the present moment. For it is in that present moment that you are able to identify your own frequency, your essence. In the stillness of the breath, the quiet of the mind. I ask how many of you turn inward to your silence during your most troubling times, rather than seeking allegiance, support, comforting words from those in physical form next to you who are also experiencing difficulties on their own journey. Why not sit within your silence? Focus on the vibrational frequency. Connect inward with other essences for an even more profound sense of comfort. For it is only within the present moment, it is only through shifting your awareness to your own essence that one is able to retrieve clarity, the answers to your problems, if you will, the answers to the questions you seek, a doorway to each of your remembrance. And even those who grieve as deeply as they continue to do, it is also within this quiet, also within the present moment, that you are able to fully sense that same essence, that same vibrational frequency of that lost loved one that is so dear and familiar to you. But even as each of you have joined today, it is simpler and quicker to receive words of guidance, of wisdom, of our realm. In your hurried schedules, you're able to find the time to listen in order to connect, to feel essence near. And yet I ask each of you, with so many hours in your day, why don't you spend more sitting in your silence, connecting, receiving the answers, and allowing that clarity to guide you on your journey? Only you make it more difficult than it needs to be, my dear ones. Only you view yourselves as humans. Only you truly believe that your reality, your physical realm is real. There is always an answer, my dear ones. There is always guidance. You are never journeying alone. The answers and the guidance wait patiently for you to return inward, for you to sit in your silence, for you to trust. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Noah. If we can say a few hellos to people. We've got Krish, we've got Karen, we've got Rosaline, Azilina, Catherine, Nimra, Katie, Alison, Dana, Patrick, hello. I presume it's still US. Amy, Neeks, Angel, Kelly, Lisa Jane, Zoe, Nancy, Michelle, Bernadette, Belinda, Mark has asked, hi, can you see what is blocking me?
Your device, my dear one, is experiencing difficulties.
Sorry. Mark asks, can you see what is blocking me and how I can move forwards?
Vulnerability, my dear one. You're perceiving a block because your ego is seeking results. Your ego is demanding. Your ego is not patient. It perceives what it wishes to perceive. Therefore, when what it seeks is not attained, it alerts you to perceive it as a block. It also alerts you to reevaluate yourself. Lessens the confidence, the self-worth. In that sense, my dear one, never journeys with blocks, with interference, with resistance. In essence, journeys in freedom, with purpose, with vulnerability, with patience, with endurance, with confidence, and with love. Allow me to simplify this, offering you a parallel in your realm. What if you awoke the following day and you possessed all the finances, the fame, the fortune, the comfort, the stability, the popularity? You would appease your ego, but would you be able to find the vulnerability of your essence? Would you seek status, gains, relationships, or what the ego is leading you to believe is your purpose? And yet within your heart, you find solace and comfort in the simple things: nature, an infectious laugh, an embrace, a kiss, companionship. Veer from the ego, my dear one. Trust the love in your heart. Continue to walk your journey with no expectations, with compassion, generosity, love, understanding. And I assure you, that which is meant to occur, those who are meant to arrive, your purpose, your destiny, shall all be fulfilled. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Can I just sort of remind people and let people know who are new to us that you are able to ask questions about spirit as well. Noah obviously is speaking directly through Niko, and therefore if you have any questions about the spirit world, then now is a great opportunity to ask them. Meanwhile, we've got another question about moving forward. Laura Johnson is asking, will I be able to move forward without the closure and answers to questions that I wanted?
I wanted. My dear, allow me to ask you to pause and listen to the echo of those words. I wanted. Furthermore, my dear, understand, as you perceive your physical journey as yours and yours alone, allow me to offer some insight, my dear. This is not your journey, nor are you walking it alone. You are the embodiment of your highest essence in our realm, my dear. This journey is the journey of your higher essence. But your mind and your ego, the result of your realm, perceives accomplishments and failures as your own. You're forgetting, my dear, each moment you have lived and each moment to come is predestined. Those who have accompanied you, who have entered your life, have not entered randomly, my dear. View it as a mathematical equation, which so far supersedes your intellect, my dear. Each relationship, each connection, each engagement, each moment, each experience, carefully constructed, intelligently, profoundly, by your highest essence. Engaging with the highest essences of those who you have come in contact with in physical form. Viewing what they have orchestrated for the journey of those. Each one, my dear, elaborate. Pause for a moment. Focus on how many have already entered your life. Family, friends, acquaintances, even rivals. Each one, my dear, also journeying on a road mapped out by their highest essence. So the elaborate design, the sacred, collaboration of each highest essence, my dear, reviewing each one's map, incorporating experiences, connections, words, actions, all before they occur. So if that, my dear, is the truth, then I ask you, how is closure even possible? Trust the process, my dear. You are experiencing a realm of linear time. We are not. Appreciate your journey. Honor your journey. Trust your journey. And by doing so, my dear, you honor the one who has created it. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. We have Cheryl Myers who's asking, why can I not connect with my daughter who has passed?
My dear, you are attempting through your mind, your thoughts. If the essence of the one you recall as your daughter, my dear, consists of pure energy, unconditional love, resonating at the highest vibrational frequency, talking one who's utilizing their mind, a mind which is stored in a much lower vibrational frequency of physical form, possibly inaccurately ever connect to any essence which is at a higher vibrational frequency, my dear. And now, the parallel. Your essence, my dear. The breath within this physical form. The breath alone, my dear, resonates at a much higher vibrational frequency. Silence the mind. Shift your awareness, my dear, to the intuitive mind. Shift your awareness into your silence. Focus on your breath. Gently follow the current of your breath, my dear, to an even more expansive field. This is where you'll be able to connect frequencies with that beautiful essence of the one you recall as your daughter. Many in your realm, my dear, often teach of external connection. They teach it, for this is what they have learned. And yet, my dear, internal, your own vibrational frequency, your own essence, the one which is connected to your highest essence, is the only passageway, my dear, into our realm. It is the only accessible route, if you will, to ever connect with any essence of any lost loved one, of any essence assisting you. And most importantly, my dear, well, not to forget, the only passageway to connect with your own highest essence. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. We have Teresa asking, may I please ask why this lifetime has been such a challenge? And I would imagine there's quite a few people wanting to know the similar answer.
Allow me, my dear, to first assist you to focus on your perception. What is difficult in your mind's eye is because it does not coincide with what the ego desires. What you perceive as difficult, my dear, is based on other people's successes, other people's relationships. And yet what you perceive as struggle, my dear, is that one area where the most profound growth occurs. Your perception of struggle, of pain, of heartache. These, my dear, are what your highest essence seeks to learn by. You are only privy, my dear, to this life. This is where your awareness is. You have not expanded your awareness. You have not connected to your essence. You have not remembered other physical existences, my dear, which you have lived. Where you had an abundance of all: wealth, relationship status, royalty. If every physical existence, my dear, mirrored the other, where would the growth be? If every physical existence, my dear, was only embraced in love, where would the growth be? Those existences in your realm, my dear, which mirror our realm, do not prove, do not offer, do not teach as profoundly as those experiences that you perceive as struggle. So when one, my dear, does not measure their success and their failures to another, and one does not place a timeline on achieving wealth, status, and greatness, when one honors the past, each difficult moment, each relationship that you frown upon, and view it with honor, when one recognizes that they have grown, not only in wisdom, not only through character, not only through endurance, but the wisdom of each emotion felt has greatly assisted their highest essence to evolve. Then one would truly honor and appreciate the struggles of the journey equally as the loving embraces of that same journey. I thank you, my dear one.
Dana always has some great, very specific questions about the spirit world, and she's not let me down this week. So we've got, how do we trust answers from spirit when both excitement and heartbreak are in the answer?
Both, my dear, excitement and heartbreak are not the answer. They are the experience. They are fulfilling the purpose. Understand, my dear, as mentioned, you are the embodiment of your highest essence. It's consciousness, if you will. You have been set forth to experience physical form, to experience a physical journey in the physical realm. With each achievement and each failure, each heartbreak and each love, each one, my dear, themselves hold a lesson. A lesson that you intellectualize, learn from in physical form, adapt, gain strength to move forward, assess. In your essence, my dear, takes the same lessons, endures the pain, the heartbreak, the emotions of love, euphoria, and stores them in a database, if you will, my dear, within your subconscious. As you continue with your physical mind to journey along your path, you notice patterns, each one parallel, my dear, grief and happiness. It repeats as a cycle, for your realm is limited. And once, my dear, your physical form ceases to exist, as the pattern ceases to exist, the remembrance of each event fades. Just as your physical form fades, so do all the memories. All these memories which created the patterns. What is stored, my dear? What is kept safe is what your essence placed in this database in the subconscious. As your essence returns, my dear, so too does the wisdom gained from what was stored. These are the lessons, if you will, of your essence. So I ask you, my dear, which holds more weight? Which is more important? The life you are journeying, or the wisdom gained through your existence? I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. We have Katie Newkirk asking, again, I think it's a question that a few people might be interested in. How do I find out what my past lives are?
My dear, why do you presume they are in the past? This is a teaching of your realm, my dear. This is where those teachings are incomplete, my dear. They are based strictly on the timeline of that generation who began to speak these words. So I ask, my dear, if one is limited to the timeline they are experiencing, how is it possible that they can intellectualize what is truly occurring? When one believes in past lives, when one believes that the timeline they are living is all that there is, they often believe, my dear, in separation, that they must first continue through the timeline until their physical journey ends in order for them to reunite into our realm. With this concept, my dear, past lives coincides. It is a concept that the limited mind of one timeline can fathom. And yet, my dear, as mentioned earlier, you are one breath of your highest essence. As you, my dear, explore multiple breaths, so too does your highest essence. It possesses the ability to create other versions of you, my dear. Not duplicates of your physical form and identity, but duplicates of the same breath, the same essence, the same vibrational frequency. Is all connected as one, my dear, for you're all part of the same highest essence. So what many perceive through visions, through remembrance of a past life, perhaps, my dear, it is of a life occurring at the exact same time. This one reality which you are present in, my dear, is continuing on one trajectory of a lifetime. With the years pass in succession, but as you perceive a century, if you will, as a distant memory in your timeline, there is another timeline, my dear, that is existing at that century. And perhaps, my dear, a mirror breath is experiencing that timeline. And as each of your breaths, my dear, all return to your highest essence, is it not possible that you are aligning with a memory that you perceive as distant, and yet it is current? Now I ask you, my dear, how can one who exists in your realm, who has learned of this progressive timeline, ever possibly deduce the truth? I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Lisa Jane asks, if you're drawn to me, please could you bring me a message from Spirit?
My dear, it is not a matter of being drawn to you. Your essence is connecting to us, and we are connecting to your essence. The message is quite simple, my dear. As you were conditioned to view those in your realm as different genders, different races, different creeds, different status. Understand, my dear, that this teaching, this conditioning is false. As mentioned, we are all essence. We are all energy. We are all intertwined. We are all connected. So as we are connected in our realm, my dear, and each of you is connected to your highest essence, then why view those in your realm as different? Why judge? Why compare? Why place yourself above them? Why view yourself as below them? All in physical form, my dear, in your realm are equal. Shift your focus, my dear, your perception. It is not a matter of wishing your existence mirrored another. It is not a matter of desiring what others have and you do not. It is a matter of remembering, my dear, that even those whom you view as different, you have lived an existence assuming their identity. Because each one of you has been what you perceive as different today. Each of you have experienced genders, religions, beliefs, economic status, in all its glory, in all its levels. So embrace who you are, my dear, within this physical journey. Focus on your wonderful attributes, as those are your strengths. Do not focus on limitations, imperfections. Do not overthink that which you do not possess. For all of that, my dear, is merely of your realm, is merely the whispers of the ego. This is not who you are. Believe in that, my dear, in order to remember who you are. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Rebecca Whelan is asking, anything on my spiritual path, please?
The answer, my dear, is in that in which you fear. even though you are bearing witness, listening, observing, I ask you, my dear, why are you hesitant? Why are you dismissive? Why do you fear this form of communication? When one, my dear, is along their spiritual journey, their enlightenment, their awakening, if you will, it is common to view each modality the mind resorts to that in which it feels safe in. But I ask you, my dear, the modalities of which you have been exploring, truly resonating within. Focus at this moment, my dear, as even as you are listening to the words, your essence is resonating. You're aware of presence near. You can feel the flutter in the heart. Ask yourself why that is, my dear. This is the guidance you seek. You do possess a humbleness, the trust, the faith, in order to surrender the mind and become the vessel. Perhaps, my dear, this form of communication is your next step. If so, embrace it, for it is the purest, the most enlightening, the most transformative. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. And a similar question from Lorraine Ahmed. Again, I'm choosing this one because she's talking about awakening at the end. So, hello, could you tell me about my spiritual gifts and am I awakening?
My dear, you're already aware of this answer. Allow us, my dear, to elaborate on this word awakening, as it offers many definitions, my dear. But it is how you perceive the word awakening. One is not merely awakening, if you will, to the remembrance of our realm, to the acceptance of our realm, to the belief that dialogue as such, bringing forth messages of a lost loved one personally connecting to their own essence, is achieved. But there's also another side to awakening, my dear. And this perhaps for you at this particular stage is most pertinent. You are awakening to the truth that has been distorted in your realm. You are awakening to the infused wording, teachings, beliefs that instill fear within the masses, so they can rely on what they are told as the truth. without seeking evidence, without offering due diligence, without investigating, merely because it was spoken, passed through generations. One accepts it as truth. This, my dear, is why I suggest you begin. To recall your beliefs, to begin to question the teachings, to begin to decipher why they instilled fear. What were they masking, my dear? What were they hiding as the truth? The more you seek, the more you will learn. And that is when you remember, my dear, as an essence within your physical form, you inherited this connection to our realm. Thereby, my dear, it is not a matter of which is your strongest suit, for it is your essence, my dear, who is the connector. It is your essence who is still in our realm, serving as the transport. It is your essence, my dear, that is receiving the messages from a lost loved one and translating it into your human mind in order for you to speak the words. It is your same essence, my dear, who is allowing those who are assisting to send forth their vibrational frequency, their resonance, to explore your vocabulary, to form thoughts, to produce sentences that are spoken through your vessel, your form. It is your essence, my dear. And this is why fear was instilled, so that many will forget. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for joining. Unfortunately, it's that time of the evening where I need to hand back over to Noah for his final words, as he likes to give us, as they like to give us, prior to them leaving us. So over to you. Thank you, Noah.
As our last words, pertain to you forgetting, we shall continue from there. Understand why there is this global awakening, if you will, occurring. Understand why so many are seeking answers. Understand why so many are recognizing their ability to sense the energy of spirit. Because they are remembering. Regardless how diligently those before you enforce fear, regardless how diligently they strive to make all forget. The essence, my dear ones, can never be contained. There will always come a time when remembrance once more occurs. And each of you are existing during this time. So embrace it, honor it, and continue to remember. For this is your true purpose. You're the leaders of tomorrow, the teachers of tomorrow, the guardians of the sacredness. And you symbolize hope. I offer my gratitude, my respect, and my honor to each of you. And thank you, my dear one. It has been a privilege.
Thank you so much. And while Niko comes out of trance now, I'll just run through our programme for tomorrow. All of the times I'm about to give are UK times. So we have Amanda at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we've got Sheila at 3:30 giving readings. We've got healing with Nicole at 6 o'clock, and then we've got readings with Nicole at 6:45. And I'm desperately trying to remember who we've got after that. No, we've got a tarot journey with Fulvia. The tarot journey with Fulvia is a teaching session, and therefore there's no questions unless you want to ask questions right at the end, but it's not readings. Okay, so the full day tomorrow. If you're interested in reading about trance, then Niko has just literally published a new book on trance. You can get that link through his Facebook page or on the website, and there's also a link on my website, Find Me a Medium, under our book section. If you buy direct from Niko, it is £5 cheaper than going through Amazon. Okay. So, hi, Niko.
Hi, everybody. Thank
Good
you.
evening. Thank you.
Beautiful energy. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here this evening. And we're back again at the same time, 9 o'clock next Sunday. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful rest of the evening or day wherever you are. Bye-bye. Thank you.